No, that's bad. That's not it.
Okay. Okay. All right, there. So there we go. We have, well, if you're in the stream, welcome to the stream. We're live streaming on YouTube because we actually have a severe thunderstorm warning for Shiro. So, actually, I don't think anyone's watching right now. Let me get. Let me make an Instagram post real quick. All right, so start talking now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes portions of eastern Grimes County, central eastern to a little bit of northeastern. And if I stop the loop here, read here's the storm right here. It's kind of wide. It's extending from New Waverly and has a little pocket near Anderson, and it's moving. The warning box includes Huntsville, New Waverly, north side of Lake Conroe, Lake Stubblefield, Sam Houston National Forest, Richards, Shiro, San Jacinto, Loma, Gailey, Pine Hill, and any of those locations if you know them. But for our sakes, it mainly includes Richards and Shiro, and it seems like it might also hit Roan's Prairie, but Roan's Prairie is not involved in the warning. Now, this warning, it's warned for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. So 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail are both possible from this storm. Now, the strange thing about this storm is that it's moving nearly stationary, which is actually pretty rare for a severe thunderstorm. Usually they, move, but this one, according to the National Weather Service, is nearly stationary. However, the warning polygon is facing northwestward. I don't really know why, but that's, I guess, what the National Weather Service decided to put it as. Now, I believe that this storm seems to be growing larger but not moving, and I assume that may be why they extended the polygon. They might be anticipating the storm to grow into the warmed areas instead of moving into them. So, I believe this storm will get more intense as the time goes. Now I'm going to show you the threats. We don't really have many signatures that this is going. There's not many indications of where any of the threats are, and there's no confirmation that this is currently producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, but it is capable of producing that, and that's why it's been warned for this. It's part of kind of a chain of thunderstorms, where there's this one, and there's this one, and there's another severe thunderstorm that's also nearly stationary, that's heading towards Livingston. Oh, no, this one's moving north. Okay. This one's moving at 10 miles per hour, but this one's stationary. This is the one we're looking at. So, looks like the rain is starting to fall in Richards, so it's pretty much in Richards by now. If you're in Richards, get inside, get away from windows in case there's hail. If you're in Shiro, get inside, get away from windows. Of course, New Waverly, Huntsville, if you happen to be in those areas. Okay. And we're just going to keep watching it. There's also another shower approaching College Station, I think. Yeah. Most of these storms are not moving. Instead, they're just growing in size, which is not something we commonly see, but I guess it's happening. So, yeah. And these are kind of associated. All these showers and thunderstorms, they're kind of associated with another area of showers and thunderstorms over the hill country right now, which is producing actually pretty big hail. This is a 67-mile-per-hour wind gust here, 1-inch hail report, and there's a big storm approaching Gatesville. But if we go back down here, of course, this is our main thing to look at. Still, not really any signs of any intensification or movement at all, actually. There we go. Okay, this shows the height of the storms, so this will give us a decent example of how high the clouds are. And it seems to be highest through right over the Sam Houston National Forest. So this is how high the clouds are. And the reason I'm showing this is because typically the height of clouds almost directly correlates to how powerful the storm is, because the larger the cloud, then the more energy can be provided for hail and wind development, especially wind. So yeah, this might be a significant. This could be a windstorm if it happens. And there's also also note to mention, if you're anywhere in Shiro, Richards, heck, even my house in Blackberry, I've been hearing it. You will probably start hearing a lot of thunder because there is a lot of lightning associated with this storm. Now, okay, we just got to. All right, this is the second. I'm going to cover this, even though this isn't in Grimes County, but this is pretty close. So this thunderstorm here just got warned for half-inch hail and 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This thunderstorm was also nearly stationary, but it was located just a few miles northeast of Brenham, and it's expected to move northwest, so the same direction as the severe storm. This locations impacted here include Brenham, Independence, Clay, and a little bit of Somerville. And this will gradually move north very slowly up towards the Caldwell area, maybe Bryan. Actually, probably not Bryan. But yeah, so now we have two storms that I'm looking at. I'm going to mainly focus on this one because it's actually in Grimes County. Let me look again. All right, we have a little bit of wind here. If I look, radar is seeing, of course, we're a decent distance from the radar. The radar site that I'm looking at is in League City, which is out near the coast. So we are maybe 100, maybe 200 miles from the radar, and it goes by, the further you are from the radar site, the less high quality the scans become due to the beam of the radar going off the curvature of the Earth. So we aren't in the greatest position right now, and therefore the wind is probably stronger than it says here, but looks like we're around 30 miles per hour here, but it's probably stronger than that, to be honest, because of the curvature of the Earth. And if we look over here, it's pretty much the same, which leads me to believe that this storm actually might be producing 60-mile-per-hour winds like it's warned for, and this one is probably around 30 miles per hour, even though it's warned for 40, but it's probably around 30 right now. I don't know for sure. That's just my guess. All right. Let me look at the hail. See if, okay, we don't really have any indication of any hail. See, all this red is, what I'm looking at is called the correlation coefficient, and basically it's a radar product that measures the difference between all of the particles that the radar beam detects. So, for example, a lot raindrops in a shower or a thunderstorm, raindrops are all pretty much shaped, and they are all pretty much the same size. So they're going to show up as red, and this is what all the red is. These are all objects that are all very similar to each other. But if we see blue, that means that there are objects in the atmosphere that aren't similar to each other. And this typically means, in most thunderstorms, this typically means large hail. And in unfortunately, a lot of cases during a tornado, this can mean a lot of debris being lofted into the air, because debris can be all different shapes and sizes. But of course, that's not what's going on here, because there's no tornado. So I'm looking at this, and I don't see any indication of hail or anything. Maybe a tiny bit over here, just northwest of the Sam Houston National Forest. Actually, this is probably in the National Forest. But there's no guarantee that there's hail there. Probably, this might be torrential rain, or it may be small hail, these little black pixels in the mostly red area, but I'm not sure. Go over here. And it's the same situation for the storm out near Early Line or Independence, where we have weak winds and not much of a hail indication here. This one's warned for, what is it, half-inch hail? This storm to the southwest near Brenham, the Independence storm, is warned for half-inch hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds, while the Shiro storm is warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So this one's definitely the bigger threat right now. All right. Oh, they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. All right. All right, they just issued a new severe they just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning on top of the other one. And I don't really know why they issued this, because it has the exact same risk. Oh, okay. Okay, so the old severe thunderstorm warning expired, and then they just issued a new one on top of it, so they think that storm is maintaining. All right, they added this. Yeah, continuous cloud to ground lightning are occurring with this storm. So this is a very lighted up thunderstorm right here. So if you're in Sam Houston National Forest, Richards, Shiro, Huntsville, New Waverly, generally all this area. I don't think many people live here. Well, except for Huntsville, obviously. I don't think many people live here though. But if you are in this warning, make sure to get indoors and probably get away from windows, because this is a very electric storm. There's a lot of lightning occurring with this, and of course you have the quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind threat, which is not the biggest issue. It's not very life-threatening, but you should definitely get inside. If we go to the east, that other storm that was near Livingston, that one has seemingly weakened below severe limits, so it's no longer a threat. But we are still looking at the storm over the Sam Houston National Forest, and the one over Independence. And this one seems to be just now approaching Independence. Still 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail for this one, and then still 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail for this one. And whoa, that's a big statement. All right, they just issued, National Weather Service just issued another special weather statement. This doesn't really concern us much, but this is a cluster of strong thunderstorms near Cold Spring, or moving north at 5 miles per hour. That's very slow. 40-mile-per-hour winds, nickel-sized hail. So that doesn't really concern us that much, but I guess if you're in this area, get indoors. We're still looking at the severe storm over Sam Houston National Forest. That is pretty much on Richards by now. If you're in Richards, you should probably be getting heavy rain by now. And this is about to get to Shiro. All right, still okay. 40 miles per hour. So the winds are increasing in this area. All right. So. Yeah, if you're in this special weather statement or this severe thunderstorm warning, get inside. Stay away from windows, as we do have a hail and wind threat from both of these. And of course, frequent cloud to ground lightning is occurring with this one, and a lot of lightning is also happening with this one, probably. All right, so I think we have. I'm going to talk about the severe weather risk for tonight. So we do have a almost significant severe weather threat tonight. The entire area is under a 2 out of 5 severe weather risk, which is the slight risk. It's the yellow color. But pretty much directly to the northwest, we have there's a 3 out of 5. Though that doesn't affect us, but it's pretty close. It's a little close for comfort. And as for everything else, the tornado risk, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's very low. But the main threat tonight is damaging winds, in which we have a hatched and at least 15% damaging wind risk, and it's hatched, which means that there's great confidence that an isolated to scattered event of 60+ mile per hour wind gusts will occur in this area. And I'm gonna look at that. So here's the thunderstorm timing. 7 to 11 p.m. will mainly be 40% for the most of the area, like Anderson, Navasota, Plantersville, Todd Mission, up to Shiro, Richards, and then 70% for Bedias, Iola. I already said Carlos. And areas west like College Station, Bryan, Curtin, Caldwell, up to Madisonville. But the main threat is definitely going to be overnight. Unfortunately, the main severe threat that's going to happen tonight, it's going to be in the middle of the night, which is not good. It's Mother's Day, and Mother Nature is coming to us in the middle of the night, which is not great. I did not expect to do a live stream today, but this storm decided to randomly happen. But yeah, I am pretty confident that there will be. I think my camera just defocused. I'm pretty confident that there will be a significant severe weather. Maybe not significant. There will be a severe weather event overnight. I'm pretty confident in that, and I'm almost 100% that there will be at least heavy rain. Here's the heavy rain predictions. They've actually increased from earlier when I made the forecast video earlier. Let me turn this off. There we go. All right. So ignore the warning polygons. Everything in the yellow area has a at least 15% chance of flash flooding, so it's basically guaranteed that heavy rain will occur in this yellow area. And then there's a tiny sliver that includes Todd Mission with the green area and to the southeast towards Houston that will see heavy rain, maybe moderate rain, but probably not flash flooding. I don't really have more to say about that. Okay, they've extended it. Okay. So earlier when I said that there was a 3 out of 5 risk that was too close to home, it's changed. It's actually now in part of Grimes County. I did not expect this to happen. So all of College Station, Caldwell, Somerville, Brenham, it's involved in the 3 out of 5 risk. And I mean, I'm not meant to fearmonger, but 3 out of this, an enhanced risk is rare for this area. It's kind of rare for this area. It only happens once every 1 or 2 years, so it's definitely something interesting. And it's only for this small area of West Grimes County, pretty much just at Ferguson Crossing and just west of Carlos. But if you were in Carlos, I would treat this as you were in the risk. So if we look at it here, still a low tornado threat, except it clips through Bryan, though it's a 2% tornado threat. I wouldn't even worry about tornadoes today because they're not really likely at all. But the main story is the wind threat, but it doesn't look like it was updated from when I talked about it just a few minutes ago. I heard thunder. So, yeah, this is kind of a rare event, but I will talk about that later because we should probably check up on the storms. All right, here we go. So, the storm is over Richards, and it's still moving northwest. There's still a lot of lightning. It's over New Waverly and expands through Cold Spring and a little bit towards Livingston. And then the other thunderstorm, it's pretty much over Independence right now. Independence, it will definitely start raining there right now. In Shiro, it will probably start raining very, very soon, in the next minute or so. Okay. Huntsville, it's approaching Huntsville. Now, it looks like it has slightly increased. There's a little pixel right here, pink. Let me look at it. The wind, let me look at the wind here. Okay, it's about the same. That's not really changed much. Look at this one. Yeah, okay. Let me look at CC. Okay, the CC the correlation coefficient, which is basically our hail meter, has dropped a little bit, which means that there may be some small hail falling around here near San Jacinto, mainly approaching Shiro. But it's not certain. That is definitely interesting. Oh, okay. The clouds have... This is the echo tops. Basically, this is just how high are the clouds meter. And it has increased. It's almost at 50,000 feet, which is definitely high enough to produce hail. And new radar scan just happened. Did it? Yeah, okay. And it's still not in Shiro yet, but it's definitely about to. Richards, you're starting to see probably the heaviest rain you'll see today. You'll see in the next few minutes. We're not today. There's going to be pretty big things happening today at night. Lake Conroe is almost out of it. If I were in Lake Conroe, though, I would stay out of the water, and Montgomery's out of it. So it's almost out of the Sam Houston National Forest, too. but it is still moving very slowly. Yeah, it still says nearly stationary, so that's not good. Look at the storm at Independence. Yeah, it's right on Independence right now. Oh, that's weird. I don't. Okay, I don't think this is true. I don't think this is like right, but there's a little. Okay, just changed. There was a little pocket of 60-mile-per-hour winds right here over Independence. I don't think that was real. I think that was contamination. But it might have been real. I don't know. This is still warned for 40-mile-per-hour winds, so I doubt it. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. So seemingly that's not really changing. Get rid of this. All right, that's not really changing. So I'm going to show you some timing for the storms tonight. So to be clear, the storms right now are kind of the like the precursor to what's going to happen tonight. And let me show you what's going to happen tonight. So these storms are what we call discrete storms, which mean they're kind of separated from each other. I mean, they're in clusters, but they're not in a line. And there's I would consider them semi-discrete. Discrete doesn't mean like quiet or anything. It means individual or separate or something. That's what it means in weather terminology. And that's not all for today. These storms are expected to just move out and die eventually, but the main event is going to come tonight. And here it is. That is a lot of rain. Okay. So, a line of storms, or what I originally thought was going to be a line of storms. This just looks like a line of rain, to be honest, or a jumbled mess of storms is expected to arrive from the west, northwest kind of direction, and it's supposed to move east, which will cover pretty much the entire area times 10. So, I've already said this. Unfortunately, this will happen pretty much in the dead of night at like 2 a.m. tonight. So that's not great. There is I wish I could do a live stream for you guys, but I don't think I'll be able to because I'll probably be asleep unless I somehow wake up for this. But yeah, it's around the middle of the night, so it's not going to be a good situation. Make sure you have an action plan in case there are damaging winds approaching your area. Make sure you have a way to receive alerts. So, like, well, obviously you need to have wireless emergency alerts turned on your phone. But also it's good to have a weather radio like I do here that's tuned correctly. Because you ideally want to have two ways of receiving severe weather information. And severe weather is especially dangerous at night because most people are sleeping and they're not really people paying attention. Probably including me tonight, to be honest. I mean, I'll try to pay attention to the weather tonight, but it's going to be like 2 a.m. I'm going to be sleeping. So, yeah, I'm afraid this will impact the travel conditions for school tomorrow. I didn't mean to do that. I just opened something on my computer. I'm a student at Anderson Shiro, so I'm kind of worried that this will impact travel conditions, as in, like rain, mainly heavy rain overnight, because there is actually a pretty solid threat of heavy rain, as you can see in this yellow area. And let me look at. Okay, here's the rain. Here's the expected rainfall totals. That actually peaks over Washington on the Brazos, just west of Navasota, at 2 inches. And it goes down as you go east, and I don't really believe that. I think it's going to be higher in just generally this whole area. But in Anderson, it's forecast to be 1.3, in Richards, 0.8, Shiro 0.8. Sorry, get that out of the way. Bedias 0.8, Navasota a little bit higher, 1.5. So yeah, heavy rainfall is probably going to happen tonight. I don't know for how long, but it's going to happen in the very early morning, so like 2 a.m. That's not going to be good for travel conditions, I'll tell you that. yeah, I'm gonna go back to the storms. We're gonna look at it. All right, they just continued the severe thunderstorm warning, so they extended the time of it. So they are still confident that this storm is severe, which does make sense. It's been growing, but yeah, it's right on the doorstep of Shiro. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already raining in Shiro, to be honest. Just not that heavily. This is also approaching Roan's Prairie. So Roan's Prairie, I think Roan's Prairie should be in this severe thunderstorm warning, but they're not. So overall, so far, the expected locations to be impacted are Richards, Shiro, and Roan's Prairie. Maybe Singleton later. I don't really know though. This storm seems to be. Oh, okay. I'm stupid. Okay. The storm seems to be over San Jacinto, and there's a big pocket that's right over Sam Houston National Forest. Let me look at that. All right, let me check. All right, the storm still is warned for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. It no longer has the cloud-to-ground lightning tag, so it seems like it's calmed down a. I don't think it has. I was gonna say it seems like it's calmed down a bit on lightning, but that's a lot of lightning strikes. So I don't really know. I would still definitely be inside if you're near this. And look at that, we have a few pixels of pink over here. I don't know if that's heavy. I hope that's heavy rain, and I hope that's not hail. But if we look at the correlation coefficient, which basically helps us see hail, it looks like there might be some small hail in here, or at least just big raindrops. I don't know if this may be hail or not. This may be a little pocket of hail, but I don't know. I don't know. If this is hail, this would be over the Little Lake Creek Wilderness area and approaching pretty much the heart of Sam Houston National Forest. So it's probably not hitting much. That's the good thing. Let me look at winds. Winds are not very impressive. They're around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Actually, they're probably around 40 miles per hour, but we can't see the peak of the winds due to the radar site being so far away. How far is this radar? Let me look. Measure. Okay, it's just about 100 miles away. So even though the winds don't look like much, they are probably around like 50 miles per hour. Because this storm is about 100 miles away from the radar site right now, and as you may know, the microwave beams that the radar emit, they continue on in a perfectly straight line forever, basically. And that means, due to the curvature of the Earth's surface, that means the beam will go above these storms, or at least above the lower levels of these storms. And that's why they're not super high quality. They'd be better high quality if there was a radar site like in Anderson or something. But they're just not, because they're 100 miles from the radar site. And here, we're generally in an area that's kind of in the transition point between the League City radar site and the Georgetown radar site. But the Georgetown radar site won't give much either. So I'm just going to keep with the League City one. Now let's look at the storm down here. The storm near Independence, it's over William. I can't see anything. That arrow's blocking. It's over William Penn, Sandy Hill, Prairie Hill, Early Wine, or actually, it's already cleared Early Wine. It's already northeast of Brenham. And it's gonna generally be approaching the Somerville area. I don't think it's gonna hit these areas like Gay Hill and Quarry. I think it's gonna stay predominantly east of Somerville, but Somerville, part of it is still in this special weather statement, so I wouldn't rule that out in case it turns left. But once again, we have Richards might be a little bit of a rain lull, but it's probably going to start raining there again. Right. All right, sorry about that. So I don't really have much more to say. I guess we just keep looking at these storms. The storm's over in the Livingston, Cold Spring, Alaska region. There's still storming. I don't. Sorry about that. Sorry. All right. Yeah, the storm's over here. There's still storming. So I don't really have much more to say on that. But I guess we'll just keep on focusing on the biggest storm in the area. 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail, nearly stationary. Would you look at that? All right, well, pull out all the stops for something to show on stream. Here we go. This is the drought map, so this is a map of the drought, and I just want to point out that I've never mentioned this in a video before, but our drought status was previously at extreme drought, and it's been reduced to moderate drought by all the rainfall we've been getting, which is very good, and it's expected to continue dwindling, partly because of, well, probably the rain that we're going to get tonight, but obviously that's not going to completely put the drought away. So, yeah. We're continuing to look at this is for tonight. We're continuing to look at a actually kind of rare severe weather risk, a pretty significant one for the western areas, to the areas to the west of us. This might be a big windstorm overnight. And unfortunately, I probably won't be there to cover it, but whatever. All right, it's probably about to start raining in Shiro, if I would have guessed. And we have some, maybe, I assume that's torrential rainfall, but that might be large hail falling over Sam Houston National Forest. Of course, if hail falls in a forest and no one is there to see it, did it actually fall? So I don't know if there actually is hail there, but look at different tilts. It's not going to show anything. Okay. Yeah, I still hear thunder outside, so it's decently close to my house. Just looking at velocity here. 40 miles per hour. I'm just scanning different altitudes in the atmosphere to see if we can get higher winds. No, all right. So, yeah, nothing really new here. I'm gonna look at Independence. Still that storm over Independence. Looks like there's another shower forming to the north of it. Honestly, this statement expires in 6 minutes. I don't think they're gonna renew it because I don't think this is a thunderstorm anymore. It seems like it used to be a thunderstorm, but it just declined into a shower because there's no reports of lightning anywhere near here. Well, there's tons of lightning over here. Sorry, so I don't. It looks like this was originally the thunderstorm. It's kind of stationary right over Brenham, and it seems like it's lost its energy, and it just got downgraded to a shower, or it just weakened into a shower. And I think there's another shower forming north of it, so Clay's probably getting some decent rain right now. I doubt it's going to move into Somerville because it's moving. It's this thunderstorm is nearly stationary, so I doubt it's going to do that. Some of my friends in my chat. I'm going to talk about... Actually, no, okay. I'm going to look at the cloud heights again. Oh, yeah, it looks like the peak... The highest winds are probably around over here near San Jacinto, which is in Walker County. It's in between Shiro and Huntsville. So if any of the highest winds would probably be in this surrounding red region around the purple. because the purple is the tallest clouds in the area. And then we also have some tall clouds over here, 50,000 feet, 51,000 feet. And that's high enough to get... The reason I say that the highest winds are probably to the north, to like the northern end of the storm, is mainly because of these clouds. And the reason I say that is because when clouds are... Let's see if I can... When clouds are higher, then they generally, when they collapse, they push all of the air out onto the ground, and then that wind on the ground spreads out into wind in all directions. And so larger clouds with higher cloud tops generally have more air to push out in the form of wind. So that's why I say that the highest wind is probably in this purple area. And then looks like some other right here. And that's pretty much supported by the fact that the strongest winds we have according to velocity are in that same area. Like, okay, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, but you can tell that the height of the clouds are over here, and then the wind is coming off and going to the west and pretty much into Shira. So yeah, if you're in Shira, I would get inside. It looks like it's starting to rain in Shira by now. Richards, there might be a lull in the rain, but it's about to pick up again. And I'm hearing occasional thunder outside my house, but there's nothing. Of course, I'm not going to reveal my location, but there's nothing. I'm looking at radar right now, and there's nothing over my house. So I assume that it's just the thunder from this area, because I do live in like eastern Grimes County. They just issued something new. Oh, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is okay. All right. 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour. All right, here we go. I'm gonna read this new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. At 7:57 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 10 miles west of Huntsville, moving north at 15 miles per hour. So it's actually moving now. Hazard 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Okay, so they're maintaining the same risk. And it cites continuous cloud-to-ground lightning. So yeah, we have a very prolific lightning-producing group, like kind of cluster of severe thunderstorms that are moving north. Sorry, they're moving north. I would say locations impacted over here, but there's basically nothing. This includes a stretch of I-45 between Huntsville and Madisonville, and it includes Crabs Prairie, Mossy Grove, and Cotton. Cotton is seemingly the only town in Grimes County that is included by this. So yeah, so people in Cotton, I guess, get ready to get indoors. Let me look at this. And this warning just expired. Yeah, I think they did. Let me look over here. This one's about to expire, I think. Yeah, this one just expired. Okay. I'm going to refresh my client real quick. No? Okay. Oh, okay. They just issued a different severe thunderstorm warning that's facing the complete opposite direction. What? Okay, I think I know what happened here. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Cotton, Mossy Grove, and a portion of I-45 that's cite a severe thunderstorm moving north at 15 miles per hour. And then there's another severe there's another severe thunderstorm warning that's citing the exact same thing, but it's moving east at 10 miles per hour. And what I think happened here is that the storm we were previously looking at formed right around here, pretty much right over Sam Houston National Forest. And then, as you can see, that warning just got canceled. And as you can see here, the storm let's see if I can go back in radar. Okay, so the storm that we were tracking, it formed right over Sam Houston National Forest. You see here? And then it split. It split into two different storms, and then one of them started moving north, and the other one started moving east. And I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. And we have another severe thunderstorm warning for Seven Oaks, but no one cares about that. All right. The special weather statement for the near severe storm northeast of Brenham was canceled. So it seems this storm weakened below severe limits and it's no longer a threat. So I'm not really going to talk about that anymore. But this is the main event. We have two severe thunderstorm warnings for two severe thunderstorms that are moving different directions. I'm going to probably talk about more about this one since this one doesn't include Grimes County. This one includes a little bit of it. So, even though this looks like it got the short end of the stick when in terms of how the storm split, because this one is not as powerful. But if you're in Cotton, Mossy Grove, and Crabs Prairie, I would seek shelter as well as Gailey and San Jacinto, even though it's probably already over San Jacinto by now. I would seek shelter. I would get indoors and get away from windows because this is warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail, and it's moving north at 15 miles per hour. So, take a real quick break from that. And I immediately forgot what I was gonna do. All right, I'll show some satellite imagery. So, okay. So this section, this is all the moisture that. Sorry. So we're looking at satellite imagery now, and we're looking at generally just blobs of moisture that are in the atmosphere. So we're looking at clouds, big clouds. And as you can see, there's a big system of moisture extending from the Shiro area all the way into Louisiana. And that's only... These storms are prefrontal storms, which means they are coming before the cold front, which is actually the reason that severe weather is happening today. These being prefrontal storms mean that they're pretty much the appetizer for what is to come later. As you can see, if we move to the north, there is this mammoth of moisture, huge section of moisture from all over Texas to Oklahoma to Arkansas. And this is what this is what's concerning. This will, let me draw real quick. All right, this will move southeast. What? Stop. Okay. Sorry, I don't really use the draw tool that much. This giant clump of moisture and convection and all the other things you can dream about if you're a storm chaser will move east and will enter our area in the very early morning, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m. So it's going to be a late night severe threat, but it definitely is a severe threat. As you can see here, there's a decently rare 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather. So this is a significant severe weather risk for the west portion of Grimes County. This includes only Ferguson Crossing in Grimes County, but I would say people in Carlos should also consider themselves as in this risk. As I just said, this is pretty rare for Southeast Texas. The last time we had this level risk was May 16th, 2024. And if you remember that day, that was the huge derecho windstorm that moved through Houston. And I'm not saying that this is going to be at the same severity. It's honestly probably not going to be. But it's also going to be a big wind risk. Of course, maybe not as much. But as you can see, the whole area of hill country through central Texas, through even into West Texas, is under a severe thunderstorm watch, and I expect a severe thunderstorm watch to be issued for us in the next few hours. It may happen like at any moment now, because it's 8 p.m. and these storms are expected. Let's see, 8 p.m. Starting in like 4 hours. So I would anticipate a severe thunderstorm watch at any moment. So I will probably, if we're not live while it happens, I'll probably make an Instagram post about it. Just talking about the elements of it and everything. Sorry, let me. All right, I'm gonna take a bathroom break for a minute, and I will be right back. All right, there we go. So here we are. All right. I'm gonna look at the storms again. Let me look at the Round Rock site. No, that sucks. There we go. All right, I'm gonna look at the storm that's west of Huntsville and northeast of Shiro. This one's over Loma, and it's heading towards Cotton, Mossy Grove, Crabs Prairie, and it's already past San Jacinto. So if you're in this warning, it's warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So if you're in this warning, seek shelter, go indoors, get away from windows, as this could possibly produce hail and some gusty winds. I think I have the hiccups right now. The other split of this storm is moving towards New Waverly, Willis, and Panorama Village, and it's about to go over Lake Conroe, which is funny because Lake Conroe literally just got hit by the same parent cell, but it's over Sam Houston National Forest right now. And this one is also warned for the exact same thing, and it's quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The storm that was over Independence has weakened. It weakened below severe limits. It was originally a strong thunderstorm near severe limits, but it died. Or it didn't fully die, but it weakened to seemingly a shower because there's no more lightning associated with it. However, it's a small cell to the north of it has a little bit of lightning. I would consider this a thunder shower, which is like the transition period between a thunderstorm and a shower. This is highlighted. I don't know why. Oh, that is too. Okay. Or I don't really have anything else to cover right now. So I guess. All right. All right. So rain is most likely. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna look at the week's forecast since I feel like a lot of people are probably looking forward to an end of this humid madness. So today it says 79% chance of precipitation. I would say 100% chance. I don't know why it says that. Tomorrow it has a 70% chance. I don't think that's right. No, I think that is right. But the reason it says I bet the reason it says 70% is just because that most of the storms are expected to arrive in like 2 a.m. tomorrow. And then for the rest of the day after the cold front passes, it's going to be just completely dry. So, and then that makes sense because after that, you can see that the rain chances drop significantly throughout the next few days, even to 0% on Thursday. And I'm not gonna get too crazy into severe storm science right now, but that's because the reason all this severe weather is going to be approaching and it's going to be a significant wind event for Grimes County is because it's being driven by a cold front, but not any cold front. It's a very powerful cold front. And right now, the as you could probably feel over the past few days, it's been hot, it's been humid, and while the heat probably won't go down, the humidity will, because what's been happening recently is that the pressure, the air pressure has been low. It's been around 1,010 millibars, which sounds high, but it's actually pretty low. And this cold front, as it moves through, it's going to bring in swaths of high pressure, which will block clouds from forming, block rain from falling, and it's going to reduce the humidity outside, which means that it'll be less humid. It will still be hot. It's probably still going to be like 80 in the mid 80s, mid to high 80s outside, but it's not going to feel as hot because the humidity has gone down. And this will stay for a few days, and up until maybe Saturday, where it might come back. So, yeah. Let me just see what Navasota reported. 60 R. All right. That's all I need to know. Okay, so the storm near San Jacinto, kind of northeast of Shiro and approaching Cotton, Mossy Grove, and Crabs Prairie. Actually, I don't think it's going to Crabs Prairie. Okay. I think this storm is intensifying. What's this? Okay, I don't think it's 50. It might be 57 miles per hour. I think that's a glitch, though. But it seems like the hail is increasing. And whoa, what was that? That's weird. Okay, so if I go to the hail, what we use to track hail here, the deep red would typically mean it's just rain, but the lighter you go, if it's a bunch of red and then there's a blue spot in the middle, either that's a hail core or tornadoes. But I don't think there's no tornado threat. There's barely any tornado threat tonight. Oh, they just issued a new. What they? Oh, okay. So I was very much right. Okay, yeah, they just golf ball sized hail. Okay. All right, so officially they just upgraded the severe thunderstorm warning to golf ball sized hail. Wow. I did not expect. I mean, golf ball isn't the end of the world, but it's big. So this is going to be approaching Cotton, Mossy Grove, and Crabs Prairie. I wouldn't be surprised if they. No, they're not going to do that. All right. Let me see if this was. No, I thought they did. Well, I'm trying to find something. Hold on. It's this one. Your thunderstorm warning. The EAS activation. All right. I was looking to see if they activated this on the emergency alert system. I don't think they did because this isn't a new warning. It's just that they took instead of issuing a new warning, they took the old warning and then they just added golf ball sized hail to it. So, okay, all right. I just got the text message. I get I recommend you guys do the same. I get text messages. With the cameras blocking it out, but I get text messages for severe weather. You can do it on the Grimes County website. I recommend everyone do the same. But people and animals outdoors will be injured. That's interesting. All right, so this is this kind of dangerous hailstorm is approaching Cotton, Mossy Grove, and a stretch of I-45. So if you're in this, definitely get inside and move away from windows because this is a dangerous hailstorm. Not the end of the world, but it's not good. Oh, and you could I wouldn't say these are the golf balls that are falling, but this is kind of a weird thing right here. I don't know. Oh, I can see it actually. I know why they issued this. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, I see why they issued this. So I'm gonna explain something real quick. There's something called a 3-body scatter spike, which is a pretty complicated term in terms of Doppler radar. But it's basically when the radar beam coming from League City, it goes all the way, it travels into the storm, and if the radar beam hits large hailstones inside of the storm, the beam will hit the hailstone, bounce onto the ground, bounce back to the hailstone, and then bounce out away from the storm. And due to how radar analyzes how far data is away from it, that means that it thinks that all that extra bouncing was farther away from the storm than it actually was. And that leads to what's called a 3-body scatter spike, or sometimes called a hail spike. And the reason it's called a 3-body scatter spike is because it bounces 3 times. Hail, ground, hail, out. And it's typically a sign of large hail within a storm because, that's what causes it. And as you can see here, that is a 3-body scatter spike. So there is definitely some severe hail, maybe not hitting the ground, but there is some severe hail falling at least inside of the storm. It may not be reaching the ground, but it's definitely in the storm. So, yeah, this is a significant thunderstorm approaching Cotton, Mossy Grove. If you're in Cotton or Mossy Grove, definitely get inside right now. And they just updated it again. No way. They just upgraded it to baseball-sized hail. This is a destructive storm. No way. All right, I'm sorry for freaking out, but this is rare. I did not expect it. I did not expect it to come to this. That is definitely a 3-body scatter spike. Okay. Let me look at core. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to take a restroom break in a moment, but if you are in this warning, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is destructive hail. This could cause, it literally says people and animals outdoors will be severely injured. So these are baseballs falling from the sky. This is very dangerous. I did not expect it to come to this, but this is insane. So I'm going to take a bathroom break real quick. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. So to repeat here, we have baseball-sized hail falling. This is a destructive storm. I did not expect it to come to this. Yeah, if you were in this warning, luckily this storm is going to remain mainly over rural areas. But if you were in this storm, you need to seek shelter. Let me make an update to the thing. All right. I'm going to make an Instagram post about this real quick. Okay. We have a new special weather statement. Let me look at it. Okay, this is warned for nickel-sized hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds. And this includes Montgomery. This is for in extreme eastern Grimes County. I don't even know. This is like 2 feet from the Grimes County line. I don't really know why they issued this, but if you're in this warning, get indoors. But the main threat is definitely here. We have baseball-sized hail that is falling, supposedly falling from or northwest of Huntsville. It's going to be approaching Mossy Grove and Cotton, and it's already past Loma and Crabs Prairie by now. I did not expect a storm of this severity, I'm be honest. Honestly, it looks like the hail isn't as big as it was. That 3-body scatter spike that was here before, that's not there anymore. And our hail tracker product isn't really showing much anymore. Actually, there might be some right over Mossy Grove, but I don't think it's I don't know if it's baseball anymore. But there definitely was baseball here at some point. At least at some point, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, as far as we know, there could still be baseballs falling. So people and animals outdoors will be severely injured. Expect shattered windows, extensive damage to roof, siding, and vehicles. All right. Okay, they just issued a really big special weather statement. And this includes a lot of areas. This includes Anderson, Navasota, College Station, Bryan, Milliken, Snook, Somerville, Caldwell, and let me see. All right, it's warned for nickel-sized hail and I was going to say 88-mile-per-hour winds. No, 40-mile-per-hour winds. So we have several areas to look at right now. It's getting pretty hectic. When I went live earlier, I did not expect to be this widespread. So as far as we know, we still have baseball-sized hail in mainly Walker County, approaching Grimes County. There we go. Okay, it just got expanded. Where's my sphere? Okay, it's 80-mile-per-hour winds and baseball side. What is going on? All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay, we have a really bad situation right now. Okay. All right. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Mossy Grove, Cotton, Crabs Prairie, and near Madisonville. This does not include Madisonville, but includes a large majority of I-45. If you're driving on I-45, you probably just got this on your phone. But we have a extremely dangerous severe thunderstorm right here. this is warned for baseball-sized hail and 80-mile-per-hour winds. This will be able to so yeah, if you're in this warning, prepare immediately for very large hail and winds as if a tornado was approaching. There's not necessarily a tornado, but these are extremely powerful winds. I don't really know what they're talking about here because I don't see those winds on the map, but I believe them. This is a very dangerous storm. This as it says, this is a destructive storm for thankfully mainly rural areas in Madison County, Walker County, and Grimes County. I believe this is the first time that there has been a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Grimes County. I don't even know what to say. This is insane. I don't think we have anyone watching, unfortunately. All right. I'm gonna make another Instagram post, I guess. All right, so this was given emergency alert system activation. Activation. So let me change my TV channel. See if I can get this on video. KBTX. Yeah, okay. This might be the worst thunderstorm I've seen in this area in a long time. I mean, this is violent. I'm sorry if I'm inattentive. I'm making an Instagram post. All right. Yeah, we still have. Oh. Okay, that's okay. So we no longer have. Let me delete that. Okay, so I just noticed this now. The severe thunderstorm warning that was for Mossy Grove, Cotton, and near Madisonville has been downgraded. It's the wind. It seems like the wind threat was a fluke because it was downgraded from 80 to 60 miles per hour, and the hail got downgraded from baseball sized to $50 size. So this is no longer a destructive thunderstorm, but it still is a severe thunderstorm. So still stay indoors if you're in this warning. This includes Mossy Grove. It does not include Cotton anymore. So yeah, if you're in Mossy Grove, stay inside because this is approaching you. And so since this storm is weakening quite a bit, I'm going to focus on some other storms since we have a lot of thunderstorms in this area. I don't know how long this live stream will go for. Honestly, hopefully the storms all die out soon because I don't want to keep doing the live stream forever. But hold on, let me do something. All right. All right, so let me look at these. All right, so we have a large cluster of near severe thunderstorms. They're not quite severe, but they're near severe. So they're strong, but they're not quite severe. And there's a cluster of them. There's a lot of them around. One of them is just north of Anderson. Another one's over Navasota. I had a report, and by report I mean my grandma told me that it's raining heavily in Navasota. So there's heavy rain in Navasota, obviously. There's kind of a cluster of thunderstorms from Milliken to Anderson, a shower over Singleton, and of course we still have this severe thunderstorm that we believe previously produced baseball-sized hail and maybe 80-mile-per-hour winds. I don't know about the winds. I don't really know why they issued that. Yeah, if you're just now tuning in, we had a destructive severe thunderstorm that was producing 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and baseball-sized hail, or in thankfully rural areas, but did include a large portion of I-45. Now, this is that part of I-45 should be getting the worst of it right now. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to see if I can pull up traffic cameras from I-45 to see what it looks like out there. That's probably going to be our only bet to see anything out there. Here it is. Which one is it? Which one is it? All right. I'm trying to pull up the camera, but you can't really. Okay. This is one of the shots from Walker County. This is inside of the severe thunderstorm warning, I believe. Here we go. Okay. This camera is inside of the severe thunderstorm warning that was just warned for 80-mile-per-hour winds and baseball-sized hail. It is no longer that severe. It's now $50 sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so it has significantly weakened, we believe. And it's too dark. I can't really see anything. Yeah, you can't really see much from these shots. Actually, you know what? It looks darker here than it is over here. So I bet the storm clouds are right over here, and that's why we can't see anything because it's too dark. Whoa. I guess lightning just struck on that one, but I guess we're not going to see anything from there. So actually, we probably will be able to see something on the storms near Milliken. So no, okay, I can't really see anything. That's in the middle of College Station, but All right. So we don't have a visual on any of these storms, really. The severe thunderstorm warning that's approaching Mossy Grove, or is already over Mossy Grove, is still warned for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail. So if you're in that warning, stay in shelter. Well, probably don't have to like go into your basement anymore from the 80-mile-per-hour winds, but you probably will be able to just get away from windows and you'll be fine. We still have this rather large special weather statement that spans large portions of Montgomery, Grimes, Brazos, Burleson, and Washington counties. Okay, they just updated the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, all right. So the severe thunderstorm over here has been upgraded. It's now producing ping pong ball sized hail, which is an interesting measurement. I don't think I have a ping pong ball in my house to show it, but still will remain over mainly rural areas of northeastern Grimes, southeastern Madison, and west central Walker counties. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, and windows and vehicles. So if you're in this, get inside, get away from windows because windows could break from this. And this is slowly approaching Madisonville. I don't know if it will actually go into Madisonville, but it's definitely possible. And it has a sliver of Grimes County, so this is pretty much over Mossy Grove. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much over Mossy Grove. A few miles east of Bedias, even though Bedias is not involved. But, yeah, so let me edit it real quick. All right. All right. So yeah, the storm is still believed to be producing ping pong ball sized hail. I don't know how they measured that so well, but all right, I guess. And yeah, it can. So get indoors if you're outdoors. If you're in Madison, honestly, if you're in Madisonville, I would start getting everything and everyone inside because the storm might go to the east of Madisonville, but it could still bring some decent hail and probably heavy rain to Madisonville. So, yeah, if you're in Madisonville, I would get ready to get indoors because it's pretty close. It's moving north at 15 miles per hour. All right. The storm that was a while ago, that was the original storm we were covering. It's weakened below severe limits. It's still warned as a near severe thunderstorm, what I like to call them, because they're not severe, but they're almost there. It's a strong to severe thunderstorm. It's possible to produce 50 miles per hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. And that's the same as these storms, which I think one of them is right over my house right now. These also are believed to producing 40 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. And this is a very big warning. So, thunderstorms producing hail and wind can affect College Station, Bryan, Navasota, Caldwell, Washington, Somerville, Snook, Bedias, Burton, Milliken, Anderson, Lake Somerville Dam, Kyle Field. Oh, I didn't know they had Kyle Field as a location on there. Lake Somerville State Park and Trailway, Iola, Carmine, Lyons, Deanville, Independence, and Corey. So all this area in the Brazos Valley is can be affected. Go back to the severe thunderstorm. I'm surprised this severe thunderstorm has tracked for so long. It's gone through highs and lows. Like it was, what, 3 hours ago now when it was just a shower over here over Sam Houston State Forest, and it's been moving north, and it peaked at 80 miles per hour and baseball-sized hail apparently. I believe there was baseball-sized hail falling with this storm, but I don't think there were 80-mile-per-hour winds. That seems too high. Okay. I'll look at the things. Okay, we do seem... Yeah, I can imagine ping pong ball sized hail falling right here. Oh, okay, yeah, we do have a scatter spike. So there was probably ping pong ball sized hail falling in this. A very small scatter spike, but it's still there. If you weren't here when I described what a 3-body scatter spike was back when we had golf ball sized hail, a 3-body scatter spike is when the radar beam enters the storm. It hits a large hailstone, it bounces off a large hailstone, hits the ground, bounces off the ground, hits a hailstone again, and then bounces out of the storm. And that results in, like, see my cursor, my mouse cursor, the beam slowly, the beam enters the storm, it hits a hailstone, hits the ground, hits the stone again, and then bounces out and follows a trajectory straight out. And that's called a 3-body scatter spike because it hits 3 bodies. Hail, ground, hail, and that would be the 3 bodies that it hits. And they're typically a sign of large hail because that's what causes them. And as we can see here, that is very much possible right now because the storm is warned for ping pong balls, ping pongs. And you can see the beam hitting the storm, hitting the ping pong balls, bounce up, out, and you can see the little spike right here. So I do believe there's ping pong balls falling in this storm. It's not confirmed, but I have a decent I don't think we have 70-mile-per-hour winds in there. I do have a decent suspicion that it's happening. And like this would probably be it. It would probably be falling just to the southeast of Madisonville, right over I-45. Let me see if we can get a traffic camera there. See if we see the ping pong balls falling. They just issued another severe. Okay, they just extended it. All right. They just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning that is still cited for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, so they didn't bother to increase anything. Honestly, if I were them, I would have increased it to golf ball sized hail. Maybe. They just issued another severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, here we go. This one. Trying to get a good signal. Sorry. Okay. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning for Somerville, Caldwell. All right, I'm sorry. I was waiting for the emergency alert to end. All right. So this severe thunderstorm. So we have 2 severe thunderstorms to talk about. We have this one that's near Madisonville. It's warned for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Locations impacted include Mossy Grove, Madisonville, and Midway. So if you're in Midway, there's actually a lot more. Midway, Antioch, Old Elmwood, Dingerville, Elwood, Jenkins, Connor. There's a lot of small communities around here. If I was in Madisonville, I would also get inside. So that's ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's still a 3-body scatter spike on that. I wouldn't be surprised if they upgrade that. And now to the west, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Somerville, and that is for $50 sized hail. And that is it. That is a very small warning. So if you're in So if you're in Somerville, near Caldwell, near Burton, I would seek shelter or get inside. Get away from windows. So we have severe hail falling in multiple different storms now. We have also some near severe storms over Anderson and Milliken. One that is pretty much over my house right now. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know why they did that. Sorry, my weather rating went off. All right. So, yeah, we have several severe storms ongoing. This is a pretty interesting event, if I do say so myself. Sorry. I have a lot of coughing lately. But sorry, I was looking at the chat. There's a lot of people I know in the chat. Okay. All right. So we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. One for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Honestly, I wouldn't focus on the 60-mile-per-hour winds. I don't think that's going to be the big issue. The big issue is the ping pong ball sized hail. Sorry, my grandma just texted me that her weather radio just went off. Of course it did. It's meant to do that. All right. They're covering this on KBTX. That's good. They have it on the main channel, but okay. So ping pong balls in Madisonville, and we have $50 in Somerville. I don't know why they call them as $50. Because I feel me personally, I have never held a $50 before. I'm pretty sure it's a coin, but I've never even seen one before. They should get like a better rating for that. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up. Okay, I just looked up like what like balls are 1.25 inches in diameter. It didn't give me much. So I can't think of anything else. Continues. Okay. This is okay. Okay. All right. The severe thunder Oh my god. The severe thunderstorm warning for Madisonville just got upgraded with tennis ball sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. I don't even know what's going on. This storm is I don't even know what to say. This storm is crazy. If you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, you need to seek shelter now. You got You got damaging winds and large hail approaching you. Tennis balls. We've seen everything today. We've seen golf balls, ping pong balls, baseballs, half-inch, not half-inch yet. We've seen $half, quarters, pennies, and nickels. And now tennis balls. So you've seen everything. And we got that approaching Madisonville, Midway, Antioch. Includes a sliver of Grimes County, which is why I'm still alive. No, I'll stay alive even if this moves out. This is honestly very interesting to cover. I mean, storms like this never usually happen. Storms this violent never usually happen down here. But yeah, so if you're in Midway, Antioch, Elmwood, Dangerville, Old Elmwood, and Madisonville, Jenkins, Connor, you need to seek shelter. Get inside because this is a pretty dangerous storm. I don't even know. Okay, let me look at this one. All right, this one's still warned for $half and doesn't seem like it's increasing. People are in my chat. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right, I'm looking at chat again. Aaron, I don't know if we'll have school tomorrow. I mean, I hope not. But I doubt, honestly, I don't think the severe weather itself is going to affect school. Definitely not the severe weather right now. But I don't even think the severe weather later is going to affect if we're going to have school tomorrow. What would really affect it would be, I'm going to look at the forecast real quick, take a break from severe weather, is the rainfall. And the rainfall has been extended. We have a 15% chance of flash flooding with a pretty decent severe weather is basically expected at this point. Or not severe weather. Heavy rainfall is basically expected at this point. Severe weather is likely, well, it's already happening. But it just all depends on what the school thinks is dangerous conditions for flooding and for driving. So I don't really know. It's hard to get late on your question. I don't even here anymore. Like a bug in my room, sorry. All right. So, any who just joined, we got tennis balls. We have three main areas to look at. There's a severe thunderstorm approaching Madisonville and Midway and just all those locations over there that are producing 70-mile-per-hour winds and tennis ball sized hail, that is. I think there's still a scatter spike here, which means that there probably still is hail, maybe not reaching the ground, or I don't know if tennis ball sized hail is reaching the ground, but some hail is falling, and there probably is at least some hail inside of the clouds, because we do have a scatter spike right here, which is, I don't want to explain it for the third time. It basically just means that the radar beam is hitting a bunch of hail inside of the storm. So I do believe there's hail right there. So this is warned for tennis balls and 70-mile-per-hour winds, which is pretty significant. That's like low tornado force. So then if we go to the south, we have this other severe thunderstorm warning that is warned for $half sized hail. And this is not very much of a concern, to be honest. I mean, if you're in this warning, get inside, get to shelter, get away from windows. But I'm not seeing anything that's really, it looks just like a bunch of heavy rain and some lightning. I'm not really seeing any severe aspects to it. No, there's not really anything to it. I think this warning is just going to get canceled or maybe replaced with a special weather statement. What did I just say? It just got replaced with a special weather statement. Okay. They just issued a really big special weather statement that include. Oh, they made a typo on the warning. That includes Grimes, Madison, Brazos, Burleson, and parts of Washington counties. This is warned for 40-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-sized hail, and it says was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Milliken, but there are several strong thunderstorms, so I think it's just talking about a group of them. Okay. The severe thunderstorm warning for Somerville expires in 13 minutes. I wouldn't be super surprised if they canceled it early because that storm is not really looking severe anymore. But I'm not. And same as the severe thunderstorm warning for Madisonville. But I would be surprised if they cancel it because that looks like it's maintaining strength. It still has the scatter spike. So I'm pretty sure hail is still falling right over I-45 southeast of Madisonville. Okay. I was reading. There's like a big bug in my room, sorry. They are, okay. National Weather Service is absolutely pumping out special weather statements right now. So we don't care about this one. There's this storm. This storm was a storm we were looking at like 3 hours ago that is somehow stayed in the same location. I don't know how it's doing this. But it's warned for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail, and it's near Montgomery. Honestly, that kind of looks like it's be careful with my words here. This might look like a it kind of looks like it's trying to produce a tornado, but I doubt it. I don't think the ingredients are here for a tornado. We're lacking wind shear in the atmosphere. Wind shear is basically the changing of direction and speed of wind with height. So like at the ground level, it could be facing north, but in the top of the atmosphere, the wind could be the complete other direction and a different speed. That's called wind shear. And wind shear is vital for tornado development. The problem is we don't have much wind shear today. So I don't know. The reason the tornado threat is so low today, even though we've had so many severe storms, is because the wind shear is very low. But I'm gonna keep tracking this. I don't see any like tornadic features yet, except for this. This kind of looks like a hook echo. I don't know. I don't know about that. All right. I'm going to go over. Oh, wow. Okay. I would not be surprised if this storm gets upgraded back up to baseball-sized hail because that is a large scatter spike. So I'm going to explain what a scatter spike is for the third time. When the radar beam comes into the storm, if it comes through the storm, usually it comes through the storm normally, it hits raindrop with their small hail inside, and then it comes back. And that will give the radar an idea of how much of the beam is reflected back. And if there's only a little bit of the beam coming back, that means that it draws more red and sometimes pink colors here. So there's not much beam coming back to the radar site here, but there's a lot of it coming back on the green. Now, the radar can guess how far something is away from it by just basically counting how long it takes for the beam to get there and back. If usually the beam will hit raindrops and then it will come back. And usually it hits a small hail and it will come back. But in cases where there's large hail in the atmosphere, a lot of times the beam will hit the hail, bounce down to the ground, bounce back up to the hailstone, and then fly away and out of the storm in the opposite direction. And that is called a three-body scatter spike. And it's called a three-body scatter spike because it hit three bodies. Hailstone, ground, hailstone, and then it gets out. That's three bounces. And as you can see here, That is a 3-body scatter spike if I've ever seen one. Actually, it's not as well defined as the one we had earlier with the same storm, but that is definitely a 3-body scatter spike. So I think they might upgrade this to baseball-sized hail like we had before. Right now it's at tennis ball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds, but there is at least some sort of hail falling, at least golf ball size, I believe. I'm going to go back here. Okay, the storm over Somerville is pitiful. It's not really doing anything. I think that severe thunderstorm warning is going to get canceled and it's not going to get renewed. But I do think this one is going to get renewed. Okay, yeah, another radar scan came in. That spike is huge. I think that's going to get upgraded. I don't know how they haven't upgraded it yet. But I mean, not to toot my own horn, but last time when I pointed out the scatter spike, they upgraded it to baseball-sized hail. So it might happen again. Who knows? So I'm going to look at the strong storms that are over Milliken and Anderson. They're still here. I don't really know what I was going to say about them. Nothing really special about them. They're near severe thunderstorms. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at this storm. I still kind of see where there could be like a tornado trying to form here. But I don't know. It's an extreme. If there was, it would be an extremely weak couplet. No. No. Okay, that's not that radar sights down. Hold on. Okay, no, hold on. This I'm really suspicious about this. This is very suspicious to me. Storm relative velocity. Let's see. No. I'm surprised we haven't had any new warnings in the solid minute. It was going crazy earlier. Maybe there is wind shear. Okay. I'm not going to say anything concrete, but this may be trying to develop a tornado right to the northwest of Montgomery, approaching Lake Conroe. I wouldn't take shelter here because I'm not saying to take shelter because I don't think this would make anything dangerous because it's very weak. But I mean, it has the, I'm going to point out some storm features. It has what kind of looks like a rear flank downdraft, which would come out and wrap around the back of the storm here. And then it also has what's known as the updraft, which is the fuel for the storm, and it would come out here. And then if there was a tornado, it would be right here. No, I don't think so. It's degrading itself. I think if there was any sort of rotation right here, it's dead. I don't know. I'll keep looking at that, but this is still our main thing right here. We have a huge scatter spike. I'm surprised they haven't updated this yet. This expires in 5 minutes. They're definitely going to continue it. I don't know if they'll upgrade it, but they're going to continue it, at least for tennis balls. I bet. I'm going to look at this one. Yeah, they're probably going to cancel this one. It expires in 5 minutes, and there's basically nothing to it. Looks like... Let me look at some animation here. Here. Okay. So this was a few minutes ago. This is not current, but you can see this would be the rear flank downdraft. This would be the updraft, and the tornado would be somewhere in this ball. But I don't think it's there anymore because this is what it looks like now. If there was some sort of rotation there, it's collapsed, I bet. Yeah, this environment definitely favors hail. Definitely hail. We've seen a lot of it now, but it just doesn't favor tornadoes because there's not much wind shear to create the spin in the atmosphere that's needed for tornadic development. So I assume that's why we haven't had a tornadic thunderstorm here. Yeah, this is definitely going to get extended. I don't know, it may not get upgraded, but it's going to get extended. Okay. Expires in 3 minutes. What's that? Until 9:15. Okay. I have a clock above my computer. So yeah, this storm is pitiful. I think it's gonna get expired. The one near Somerville is definitely the one near Madisonville. That's gonna get continued. I bet. And I'm gonna make a prediction. This might get upgraded to baseball. I don't think it's gonna get anything higher than baseball. I mean, there's a very small chance it might get upgraded to softball, but I don't think so. I think softball is out of the realm of possibility. Oh my gosh. Now, what's weird is that the hail threat was not originally expected to be this severe. Oh, well, it is now, but it wasn't expected to be this severe. Okay, I take that back. Actually, it's probably performing pretty well for the risk. I mean, this storm right over Connor, that is a check correlation coefficient. Yeah, okay, that is a big that is definitely a hailstorm, a hail core right there. That's hail. I am almost completely certain that's hail. Let me see if we have traffic cameras near here. Now, what size hail? I don't know. I assume around tennis ball. All right, I'm looking at. Here's the traffic camera. When was this? 9/12. So this was very recently. I don't see anything really. Other cams. Here's Madisonville. It's dark. It's dark there in Madisonville. Oh yeah, there's definitely rain covering the roads here on I-45. Huge three-body scatter spike. That is, I am 100% certain this is a hail core right here. There is hail falling. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, there is definitely some hail falling east of Madisonville. Probably big hail. Right over Connor. Nope, not that. Okay, they just extended it. Considerable hail. Okay, they upgraded it to 2-inch. Yeah. Wait, what? They downgraded it? Really? Okay. I don't know why they did that. So they just downgraded the hail risk from tennis ball to 2-inch, which, if you didn't know, tennis balls are 2.5 inches, and they downgraded it to 2 inches. I really don't think they should have, because obviously, I agree, there is definitely hail falling right now. I think this should have been baseball, because that is a huge scatter spike right there. But there we go. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning for Somerville has been canceled. So that's out of the way. We don't have to worry about that anymore. The only severe thunderstorm still left is this maybe monster hailstorm. I don't know if I should call it that, because it might not be that monstrous. This monster hailstorm near Madisonville, between Madisonville and Midway, kind of southwest of Crockett and south of Centerville. I think long term it might move into Center. It may move into Centerville, but that's going to be many hours from now. And the thing that's been pushing these storms has been a interaction between the low pressure zone and sea breeze, which, if you didn't know, sea breeze mainly happens during the day, and it's associated with the water. So it's moving. It's very inland. All these storms are very inland by now, and it's nighttime, so convection's going to start slowing down. So I don't think this storm is going to make it to Denverville, to be honest. But I mean, if you're in this warning, seek shelter, get away from windows. There's still large hail, destructive hail. Maybe not destructive, but there's large hail and severe hail falling from this storm, and you could definitely tell it's still there. I think I still hear thunder outside of my house. Oh yeah, that makes sense. All right, this is about to cross Highway 21. It's probably already crossing Highway 21, paralleling I-44. I mean I-45. So let me see if I can get possibly a traffic. No, we don't have a traffic camera. We don't have a traffic camera on Highway 21. This is the closest we have. This was. All right, this was about a minute ago. Holy voice crack. This was about a minute ago. You can tell it doesn't really look like it's raining anymore, but I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, it might just be light by now. Scatter spike's still there, so there's definitely still hail falling. We got a pretty big storm over Milliken. It's not really moving. When does that expire? 12 minutes, okay. All right, I'm going to look at the storm near Montgomery. This storm over Montgomery that I was looking at earlier that looked tornadic. I don't know. It still looks kind of concerning. All right. This storm no longer includes Grimes County, so I don't know how much longer I'll keep the stream going. I'll probably, if there's not anything more significant, I'm going to keep the stream going for as long as this special weather statement is in effect, because this actually includes Grimes County. So as long as there's some sort of warning for Grimes County, then I'm going to keep the stream on. But I'm probably going to end it after this and just let this storm move out of the area. Yeah, they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Livingston. I'm gonna look at chat again. Oh, heyo! About time for them to do that. Well, Aaron, I just looked at your message, and as soon as I did, they just issued a flood advisory. So that's good news for you. All right. Well, this is the first flood product of 2026 for our area. I'm surprised it took this long. All right. I'll read a little bit of this. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall is expected. Portion of southeast Texas. All right, here we go. Doppler radar and automated rain gauges indicated heavy rain due to thunderstorms. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly in the advisory area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. Wow. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches are expected over the area. This additional rain will result in minor flooding. Some locations that will experience flooding include Southeastern College Station, Navasota, Montgomery Mill. I'm not going to read all those. You can read it. So yeah, we have a flood advisory. Of course, this goes for 3 hours, so I'm gonna end the stream with this special weather statement gets expired. But that's very interesting, and that's good. That's the first flood product of 2026. What amount of rain would there be need for no school? I don't know. School hasn't been canceled due to severe weather since 2024, and it wasn't canceled. It was just given a delayed start. I mean, that's possible tomorrow because we still have a pretty big expectance for rainfall. The most rainfall will be to the southwest, with Washington, Nebraska getting 2 inches. I think it's going to be higher than 2 inches, to be honest. But I don't know. There might be enough rainfall to cancel school. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Well, it's all up to what the administrators determine. So I'm gonna go look up here. Actually, the scatter spike has gotten even larger. I really don't know why they downgraded this warning, but I guess it's not really for me to care about anymore since it's left the area, and it's going into mainly rural areas of this. What's this? Yeah, Leon County. All right, yeah, we still have a very large group of thunderstorms that is not moving, and I guess that was the catalyst for the flood advisory. All right, this special weather statement expires in 8 minutes, and when it expires, I'm going to end the stream. They might issue another special weather statement after, but as long as it doesn't go severe, I don't anticipate doing another live stream. The reason I started this live stream was because there was a severe thunderstorm warning that included Shiro 4 hours ago, actually. And that storm is what is currently producing large hail in Madisonville. It was originally over here, and then it split into two. The leftward moving cell is this one, and the rightward moving cell barely moved. It's still here. But that threat is basically over by now, and the only threat is these storms to the west, which this statement expires in 7 minutes. Honestly, there's a good chance of them just replacing this statement that's about to expire with another one, but I'm not gonna keep the live stream on. In that situation. Did I miss it? No, okay. Yeah, this is the. I think they just issued. All right, that's something for like Bell County or something. I don't care about that. Actually, let me read it. Okay, I don't care. All right. Okay. When does that expire? $9:30. Okay. So I expect to end the stream at 9:30, since that's when this special weather statement expires, and this severe thunderstorm has moved out of the warned area. Honestly, it looks like this storm is also might be starting to lose steam because its scatter spike has gotten smaller. And that would make sense why this one's weakening, because it was originally started by the sea breeze, which is a convective phenomenon where warm air rises over the water and it moves inland. It's kind of complicated. And that sea breeze pretty much started this thunderstorm and allowed it to take a hold of the pretty volatile environment we had today. But since it's moving out away from the sea breeze, I expect that it's weakening. It's probably just going to move out into East Texas and die. Oh, Jude Stuckey's in the stream. Hey, Jude. What's the chance Gibbons Creek Reservoir floodgates open? I wouldn't say. The flooding is not going to be that bad. No, I don't think there's a chance of Gibbons Creek Reservoir opening the floodgates. I don't think the rain isn't that bad over the reservoir right now, so I don't think they're going to do that. All right, expires in 4 minutes. 5. No, yeah, 4. I mean, this flood advisory does include Gibbons Creek Reservoir, but it's only an advisory. In the order of National Weather Service products, it goes usually a warning is higher than an advisory. An advisory is basically just a warning, but less severe. So like an advisory is for something that isn't bad enough to warrant a warning, but it still can be a threat to people. So instead of a flash flood warning, like a very heavy rainfall would warrant a flash flood warning, as you've probably heard of. But since it's not going to be that much, it only warrants a flood advisory. So right there in the open in floods, FM 244. Okay, yeah, I see. All right. I expect to end the stream in 3 minutes, since that's when this special weather statement expires. Do a last check on everything. Okay, this storm that I thought might have been tornadic near Montgomery, that's pretty much not a threat anymore. I mean, it's still warned for 40 mile per hour winds and half-inch hail. So I guess if you're in that warning, stay indoors. And as for the severe thunderstorm over... No way, they just... All right, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning, but I don't think it... Make sure my weather radio doesn't activate. Okay. All right, we had a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Madisonville and a tiny bit of Brazos County. So this includes North Zolch, Normandy, Madisonville. And it is warned for 60 mile per hour winds and ping pong ball sized hail. Now, this does not include Grimes County, so I don't think I'm probably not going to stay live for this. If you're in this warning, get indoors. There's ping pong ball sized hail, so yeah, get indoors. All right. This special weather statement is about to expire. This one over Anderson. And Anderson, Milliken, Navasota, kind of College Station. These storms are still going to be here. Obviously, when they cancel the warning, the storms are just going to disappear. But they're not, unless they continue the statement. I doubt it's gonna. I doubt that they're going to be a threat anymore. Obviously, they're going to be a threat to flash flooding. That is, flooding, as the flood advisory was issued, flooding is definitely a possibility now, but it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be like a really bad issue like Hurricane Harvey or something. This is the first time there's been a real flooding event in 2026, so it's not going to be insane. Look over here. The storm up here still has a 3-body scatter spike. So honestly, this storm might not be weakening. It might continue. Probably will continue, actually. As for this one doesn't have a scatter spike, but it's still warned for ping pong ball sized hail, and it is 9:30. I'm just waiting for this to expire. Refresh. All right, that's expired. Let me turn off radar so we can look at what we're dealing with. All right, so in total, we have a flood advisory that includes Milliken, Anderson, Navasota, Richards, Carlos, Shiro, Roans Prairie, Clay, Washington, stuff like that, Wellborn, south side of College Station, and also into the Sam Houston National Forest towards New Waverly, kind of towards Willis. So, if you're in this area of central Grimes County, southern Brazos County, northwestern Montgomery, and southwestern Walker County, be aware for flooded roads, turn around, don't drown. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles, so if you see water on the roads, or, well, water like covering the roads, don't drive through it. If it's like a pond, it's fine. Maroon FB, no. And we still have the 2 severe thunderstorm up here producing. This one's producing 1/2 inch or 2-inch hail, and this one's producing ping pong ball sized hail. So, but these are expected. These are from Madisonville. These are expected to move off to the north. And lastly, I'm going to make one last statement. We still do have a significant severe weather threat possible tonight. I probably will not go live for it because it'll be at like literally 2 a.m. So unfortunately, I'll probably not be live for it. So just be aware for severe weather. Make sure your phones have emergency alerts turned on. That's where I just heard something. Yeah, make sure your phones have emergency alerts turned on. Have a weather app. Make sure not to like completely silence or turn off your phone. And we do have. There's not much of a tornado risk to worry about. The main threat is wind and hail. What? Okay, the main threat is wind. Damaging winds, which could. So, I would say before you go to bed tonight, bring in anything that's like loose outside of your house so it doesn't blow away. Make sure to hatch down trampolines. And one last thing is that we do have actually kind of a big flooding risk tonight. So be aware for when you're driving to school tomorrow or just driving at all tomorrow, be aware for any road closures. Don't drive through flooded roads. Be aware if school gets canceled or more likely early or delayed started. If they'll probably send out an announcement if they delay the start of school. It'll probably be to like 9:45. So watch out for that. And that's pretty much all I have to say. This has been the first ever ASO Weather live stream and probably the craziest live stream ever. I mean, we had baseball-sized hail, 80-mile-per-hour winds. I don't even know. So, thank you very much for watching this stream. Continue following ASO Weather on YouTube and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Stay weather where there's thunder. And